Yeah, but you made it. Only took just over 12 hours from our final hut. I'm on the top of cede Aconcagua, highest peak in the Western Hemisphere. Elevation up here is 22,841 feet. When we came up from there 12 days ago. And looking over here, this I've shown you before, that's the south peak on Aconcagua. So I think I'm going to bid you all farewell because I need to get down out of this place myself, since we've been up since 3 o'clock this morning trying to get up here. Farewell to the Argentine and Chilean Andes. You're beautiful. And I'm glad I got to come here and see it all. Thanks. My name is Jack Leaven. I started climbing in 1973, it's over 30 years ago. I have been HIV positive for 17 years. And in 1999, I reached the summit of Aconcagua, the highest peak in the Western Hemisphere. Last summer, I was introduced to the people at Team Quest, a mountaineering organization involved with people or outdoor people who are HIV positive. We got involved with them, and last summer we went up to Washington State, and as a group there were several of us that were HIV positive, and we climbed Mount Rainier. And I thought that'd be a perfect organization to get involved with because it would help me to get the message out there about people who are HIV and how we don't just sit around and worry about our disease. We stay active and we get out into the wilderness and the mountains and enjoy ourselves and provide some recognition for those people who are sick. I hope that it will be sort of a spiritual light for them to see how the mountains can enrich your life and keep you on a positive note, make you strive for higher things in life.
Team Quest started as part of Project Quest about 5 years ago. We did a climb of Mount St. Helens. There were a group of about 8 of us who initially did a climb, and then didn't quite make it to the summit because of the weather, but another 3 of us went back and did that. And we followed it up with a climb of Mount Rainier, in which 10 people came, 9 of them HIV positive with AIDS, and another 1 person who had a heart transplant. You know, of course, Team Quest does other activities like softball. We do a rafting trip every year, volleyball, and it's designed primarily for people with a life-challenging illness who may need a little bit more support, you know, for doing sports activities. And one reason we started Team Quest is a way of supporting each other and being there for climbs, and because of a lot of us can't do physically what a lot of the climbers you see on the mountains do. We need a little bit more group teamwork and support, and knowing that there's going to be people there for us, you know, as sometimes when we're not feeling as well. And especially people that understand that, you know, with all the HIV and AIDS medications, that you've got to eat correctly, you've got to eat on time, you've got to always keep well hydrated, you know, things you might take for granted if you're just normally climbing, and then you've got to make sure you take your medications on time. You know, one thing you don't realize is people with life-challenging illness, especially if you've had it for a long time, you lose your confidence in your ability to just do everyday normal things. And by doing something like a challenging climb, you help to re-energize yourself and re-establish some of that confidence and faith in yourself that you can accomplish some things that you've come to believe that you can't do anymore. And is my hope and dream and the people with Team Quest that we can, do more climbs and bring people on some of these climbs and push them past the point of just feeling like they're not capable, or that they're an invalid, or that society treats them like, you just need to be careful. Because when you have an illness, you're always taught to be, you have to be careful, you have to do everything right, you can't stress yourself. And sometimes that kills you. That is actually less healthy than taking a few risks. And doing a mountain like this is certainly taking a risk. And a lot of the people who's done the climbs in the past, had stopped working, had given up their dreams of going back to school and things like that. And after they did the climb, they started, they re-energized their dreams. They started working again. They went back to school. They went out and socialized more and believed in themselves more and became part of the communities they had originally withdrawn from.
Mount Rainier is a perfect mountain for training for higher peaks. It has all the aspects that a mountaineer would want in one single mountain. It really is a great place to go and train for future expeditions. It's used for a training place for climbers going to the big peaks around the world, and it's an excellent challenge for our group.
Everything tells me that I shouldn't be on this mountain, that this makes no sense whatsoever, that it's bad for my health, but maybe it's good for me spiritually, mentally. It keeps me keep striving and keep working harder to overcome, or not really overcome, but to have the big good fight with the illness.
I think that today's going to be okay. We got about, Saskia says, another 3 or 4 miles to go, and just straight up the glacier, and just a slow, steady pace.
I think with HIV/AIDS, particularly with AIDS, you go through periods. You're good for a couple of weeks, sometimes a couple of months, and then you get things that start happening where you just don't feel as well, where you feel fatigued, and your physical abilities aren't as at a peak that you want it to be at.
What AIDS is like. Some weeks you have a lot of energy, some weeks you don't.
You don't have to bend over.
Do I not? Yes, I do.
I'm just going to go over.
I'd rather be up high, but...
That's great.
Yay.
All right.
Today we're on Mount Rainier. We're at 9,500 feet, a place called Camp Sherman. And tomorrow we'll be going up to 14,400, which is the summit, up through a heavy glaciated pathway, which you can see from the tent. You know, I know what my capabilities are, and that's why I'm scared tomorrow, is that I don't know if I'm going to have the endurance in order to get through, another 5,000-foot day. But I plan to, one step at a time.
Yeah, I'm ready for tomorrow. I mean, this is 700 feet short of the Grand. We did that a week ago. I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem. It's going to be a team effort. Everybody's going to have to, march to the slowest person, and it's going to be important to be able to encourage that person to get to the top.
This is a group that came together to do this thing together, and we would like to maintain that.
I think it's been a coherent group with the usual camaraderie.
I think we're all going to be standing up on top tomorrow, just given the wonderful weather that we have, and the predictions for tomorrow look great as well. I think the wind will die, and from there we'll just march on up. It'll be a long one though.
I'm excited. We've had a wonderful day of resting, laying back, and I'm ready.
I think everybody's ready. They've been up here for a day. They've been hiking and doing a couple climbs in between times to get ready for this, so it shouldn't be a problem.
We're shooting for being on the rope and moving by 1:30, and earlier would be even better. We've only gone 2,000 feet, and it's 5 already.
Little crevasse crossing here at 13,200 feet high on Mount Rainier.
Crossing!
We're about at 13,400 feet. We got about 800 more feet to go. I think most people are feeling pretty good. I'm feeling a lot better than I thought I would, which is pretty good considering how bad I felt 2 days ago. So I think we're going to be on the summit in a little over an hour if we don't have a lot more trouble. And then we get to celebrate.
Okay, we're about 5 minutes from the summit. Just approaching the crater. Oops. We're on the crater. This is it.
Team Quest. Second time Team Quest has made the summit.
Oh, well, how does it feel?
He's been here before, right?
This time?
I was here once before. It was crystal clear.
Oh no!
This is it.
This winter, 4 of us have the opportunity to go to Africa and climb Kilimanjaro. I think for Team Quest it will be significant if a team of climbers can reach the summit of the highest peak of a continent that has been ravaged by AIDS. This is my HIV medication in here, some melatonin to help me sleep on the airplane. Well, I'm almost packed. We'll be out of here in just about 11 hours. I think that's it. Next stop is Nairobi.
The team begins its quest of Kilimanjaro in Nairobi, Kenya. From there, they continue by bus to the border crossing into Tanzania and on to the town of Moshi, where they seek their guide and plan the route to the summit of Africa's highest peak.
Hey Jack, Lindsay, how are you? Jumbo.
Yes.
This is Greg.
Greg, nice to meet you.
And Robin.
Okay, my name is Valens.
And Chris with the camera.
Going to make the round.
So you want to go up the Western, go up Western Breach instead of going all the way around? X marks the end of the 4x4 track. So we start hiking here, and then we traverse all the way across over here to Lava Tower Hut, and then we traverse around here, and the squiggly line here goes up across, they call the Western Breach, onto the crater rim, and follow the crater rim to the Uru Peak at 5896.
We're about 1/2 hour up the Machame route, and this is the route we'll take up to the top of the mountain, and then we'll come down through the Mweke route.
This has been great. It's just walking along, leisurely pace. It's muddy. It's really nice and humid, not really terrible. It hasn't rained. The birds are nice and it's quiet. It's like, you know, you're in a jungle. The tree ferns are unbelievable. Some of them are as big as small houses.
So this is our mess tent at close to 10,000 feet.
Every beverage that you can imagine available to us. And popcorn and cookies.
Now we continue to go on the Shira, which is 3,800.
Marang route is called Coca-Cola route because is easier route. So the old people climb Marang route, and this one is called whisk route. The good people like young use this one because this is real tough, steep, cold. You sleep in the tent. So far from there.
So that where that saddle is that goes.
I'll get out of the cellar.
Jack informed me that he didn't do any bloodletting today.
Any blood what?
Letting. He didn't injure himself at all today.
Oh, good job.
What it looks like.
We're on a day hike up from the Sierra Plateau. We left about 12,400 feet. We're at 13,200 feet right now, and we'll be hiking up to about 14,500 feet to acclimate, and then hike back down to our camp at Sierra Plateau.
Tomorrow's a quick trip up to Yarrow Glacier. It'll be a good day. I mean, getting going early, we'll get there. You know, we'll be there by we should be there by really early afternoon at the latest.
We're on our fourth day. We came up about 1,000 feet so far from our camp, and not feeling too hot, but maybe it's because I took some acclimation drugs.
So you gonna make it to the summit?
I don't know.
You confident?
So now we continue up from here to go in the Lavata, which you can make a short break there to get a lunch, hot lunch. Then you continue to go Arrow Glacier, Arrow Camping. Yeah.
So you think the group looks pretty strong?
Yeah, the group, they look very strong, but Greg, it's not good. But I just look him when they arrive in the Arrow Camping.
If you dropped your stone, we could have walked together. If you dropped your stone, we could have talked together. And how does it feel to pray for my soul now that I'm done eating your bread, drinking your wine? And how does it feel to turn your back and have the sunlight on your face? Now let it go. Now let it go.
At our last camp. What's the name of it?
Arrow Glacier.
Arrow Glacier, right on the base. At 15,609 feet. And we're gonna get up at midnight.
Hello.
Oops.
How are you?
And head for the summit.
How do you feel like we're going to do tomorrow?
How I can feel?
Yeah, what do you think about us getting to the summit tomorrow?
I think we can do well.
Okay.
Yeah. Because everybody here, the face they looking smile, so.
As long as you're smiling.
As long as you're smiling. I learned a lot on this climb about basically my two subjects, Jack and Greg. Both of them are handling their disease sort of in a totally different way. Jack is really extroverted and seems like he wants to get as much out of a physical life as he possibly can. And I see it in the way he talks to people, picking up rocks and checking out the plants, very interested in his physical surroundings. And he's more about laughter. And that's sort of how he handles it. Maybe he would be doing that in life, just having never had a disease like HIV and AIDS. And Greg is totally opposite. He seems to be handling it more of an emotional way. Up here in the mountains, he's definitely really reflective and much more emotional about things, much more introverted, much more spiritual and quiet. And that seems to be his way of dealing with it. He's more about a smile than laughter. And but it seems that that's the way he's working it out. He wants to get closer to spiritual. It seems like, you know, he's been sick and he's been close to maybe dying, and he's attacking it in a totally different way. And, you know, it makes me wonder how I would deal with it if I, in fact, was HIV positive or I had some sort of life-challenging illness. So would I do it? Would I go Jack's way or would I go Greg's way? And it's very interesting watching both of them, and I've learned a lot about both of them and about HIV and life and the whole bit on this trip.
stone. We could have sung together. Hallelujah. Amen. Hallelujah.
January 23rd, 1:40 in the morning. Almost 1:45. We're ready to go, moon's up.
I think the mountain's waiting for us, and I think it's going to be our day.
I just really want to have full fun. I want to be exhausted and well used by the end of the day. I know it's going to happen.
Team Quest on the way to the summit of Kilimanjaro. Can't get any better than this.
Sun's coming up. Looks like we're in the final gully. How you doing, Valenci?
I'm doing okay, brother.
Going's rough, huh?
Yeah.
A little slow?
Yeah, I need slow because here too much ice.
Yeah.
It's very hard talking, hurry. That's why we using the ice axe to get a place for putting their feet.
Can you see where we were camping? Getting close to 18,000 feet.
I'm just pushing it. I'm feeling it, I'm pushing it. But you can't turn back.
But now it's really, really cold, really freezing.
I had a really hard time coming up. It was just so steep and I couldn't breathe. And I was very scared. There was a lot of places with exposure where if you slipped, many places, you would either have died or got very seriously injured.
We just topped out near the crater rim. We've got about a 45-minute hike to the top of Kibo, which is the highest point on the crater rim. We are around 19,000 feet, or a little under 19,000 feet right now. We should be there shortly, and then we can get a view. We'll be on the roof of Africa.
You can do it, Greg.
Well, now we are almost 5 minutes to the whole peak.
How about a cheer? Top of Africa.
Here we are. Realize how much the summit means to so many people who are trying it for so many reasons. So it's just, you know, about the spirit of triumph. That you can overcome things. That you don't let things get you down. Like I always say, just do it one step at a time, and sometimes you need friends to help you through it. But if you just keep believing, you know, it makes the life so much more better.
Coming home this time.